Yo, what's up everybody? Jumping here. Today I wanted to show you guys one of the best new hunter builds that you can do in Destiny 2 Forsaken. This build is a lot of fun and it should be pretty easy for you guys to go ahead and mimic it and then be able to play with it and have a lot of fun with it. Because I'm not talking about anything that's really rare here or hard to get, because most people will actually have most of this stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about it right away. So in my personal opinion, I think a lot of hunters out there would agree with me. I think out of all the brand new subclasses, Blade Barrage is the best. That's my personal opinion, but I really love it, and it's a lot of fun. It makes the Gunslinger so much fun in both PvP and PvE, where before I always would use Gunslinger in PvP, and I never really used it in PvE all that much. I would always use Night Stalker, maybe Arc Strider, never really touched Gunslinger too much. Now I'm rocking Gunslinger all the time, and this is such a fun build to play. It works really well in both PvP and PvE. Now, it's probably going to work better in PvE. That's really what it's designed to do. But we can pretty much break this down and start talking about it. Now, I'm going to start with kind of a simple explanation. And if you guys want to go ahead and listen to that and then watch the gameplay to see what this build can do, go right ahead. Then I'm going to talk about some more advanced stuff, things that you might want to look out for, like perks on your armor, to actually make this build even better for the future. Now, before I actually talk about anything, I do want to mention there is another exotic that's really great for Blade Barrage. It is an exotic pair of gauntlets, and it's kind of like the Orpheus rig. Whenever you throw out your Blade Barrage, depending on how many hits you get and how many kills you get, it's going to return super energy. It's a really awesome pair of gauntlets. I have a friend who has it, and they are really great. But still, I think that this build is very viable even if you have the gauntlets. So in the future, when everyone will have them, and I hope most people will get them because they are really awesome. I don't have them. This is still a really good build, and this is something that you guys can use right now if you don't have the gauntlets, which I would say most people probably don't. So the first thing I need to talk about is the exotic chest piece, the Ophidian exotic chest piece. Now, I am probably mispronouncing that, and I apologize if I am. But this was a Warmind exotic. And this was always kind of a, I don't know about that. Just because what it does is that it grants 2 knives per charge. Meaning that anytime you get a charge, you will get 2 knives instead of 1. Pretty simple. This is awesome with this new subclass for a lot of reasons. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The main thing is that the knives are incredibly powerful. They are so strong. They're almost as strong as like my heavy weapon, and that's kind of crazy. They're definitely as strong as a shotgun, but they are extremely strong in both PvE and PvP. So spamming these things is awesome. Now the other thing is this amazing perk, Playing with Fire. Now the final perk, I'm not a big fan of. Honestly, I wish this would increase damage or something instead of just the class ability. That's okay though, it's not bad. But I wish it would just increase melee damage or something to make them even better. But hey, it's whatever. Playing with Fire is absolutely epic because anytime that you kill an enemy that is on fire, and anytime you get a knife kill, it always counts. Anytime you get this stacked up to ×3, your recharge speed for your actual blade, even without any mods, is 4 seconds. Now, because of the chest piece, anytime that we actually get a charge, we get 2 knives back. So if we space our knives, we have infinite knives. This is an infinite throwing knife build, and if you are playing something like a Nightfall, or if you're playing Strikes and Brawler is on, this is truly infinite. You can literally run through the entire thing and just throw your knives, and it's a lot of fun, and it makes it so easy to get through the strike. Now, the grenade that I recommend for this setup is definitely the Incinerator Grenade, just because what you can do is you can throw this at enemies, set them on fire, and then if you shoot them, you will get the Playing with Fire perk to trigger. Now, if the grenade kills them, it does not trigger. That's something I have noticed. Obviously, you want to use Gambler's Dodge. This will give you both your knives back. Now, you don't really need it. The only time that this is really handy is early on when you don't have the perk going, because you can throw a knife, get the ×1, throw another knife, get the ×2, dodge, get both your melees back, and then finally get the ×3, and you are set up and ready to go to spam your knives. And anytime that you really need your knives back, you can always use this, and it's nice. And remember, because of that one perk, we will get our dodge back faster, so that's also really cool. Now, one thing I did want to mention, because I know people are going to comment, I am actually light level 600. I have worked very hard to get here, but I know that people are going to ask, how are you 600? So if you are asking that question, I can make a video explaining how I got to 600 very quickly, what was my method and what worked for me. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I will make that video. Now, I'm not going to talk about the weapons for this build. It really doesn't matter. In fact, you really don't even need to use your weapons all that much just because you're constantly throwing knives and it's just crazy. But I do want to actually now get into the more advanced stuff. So if you just wanted to know the basic stuff, you can go ahead and watch the gameplay now and see what this build can do and skip ahead. But now let's talk about the more advanced stuff. These are perks that you're looking for on your armor if you can get them. On the helmet, 100% for this build, go with Hands On. Hands On is an awesome perk. Anytime you get a melee kill, you're going to get bonus super energy on that melee kill. Now, if you're going against bigger enemies like yellow bar enemies, you will actually get a lot, and I mean a lot, of super energy back, which allows you to spam your super. Now, your knives are so strong that most yellow bar enemies, you can throw one knife at them and they'll die. So that is absolutely epic. Now, there should be an enhanced version of this perk. That's something I have noticed. For the raid armor and also the Dreaming City armor, you can get enhanced perks. Now, I don't know why it's just on these armors. I guess these are in-game armors. I wish it could come on every armor, but so far I've only noticed enhanced perks on the Dreaming City armor and the raid armor. So that's something to look out for. If you can get the enhanced version of Hands On, it will definitely be really good. Now, you might notice I do have an impact mod that will allow my melee to recharge even faster. Now, what I'm doing with this build is I'm actually stacking 5 of these. Now, do I recommend 5 impact mods? Not really, I'll be honest, because the difference between having 5 and 0 is 1 second. In fact, each one that you add will actually add a millisecond when you actually are using ×3 playing with fire. Or at least it adds milliseconds, I should say. So I don't know if I really recommend that, because you can get your melee back in 4 seconds or 3 seconds. It's up to you. Now, you could probably get away with using 3 impact mods, or maybe 4, and you will also get the same benefit, the 1 second difference. But for the purpose of the video, I wanted to use 5 impact mods to truly show on how crazy and how great this build can be. So that's why I'm doing it. Now, normally, I would say maybe I would use grenade cooldown mods, and I'll get into that in a moment with other perks, because with this build and my perks, I can actually get my grenade back really quickly. So that is something. And I think that the grenade mods might be a little bit better, but it's completely up to you. You can use any mods you want because it's up to you. Do you want to get that extra second knocked off of your melee cooldown? That's something that you have to decide. Now, the next perk that I want to talk about, this is another perk. I have the enhanced version of it, but this is Impact Introduction. This is a great perk. What this does is that if you cause damage with a melee, it will actually reduce your grenade cooldown. Now, that's really cool because since we're spamming knives, we can pretty much get our grenade to come back pretty quickly. That's why the grenade cooldown mods are actually kind of nice with this build, just because I can actually get my grenade to come back really quickly and my dodge and my melee. So I'm just spamming my abilities like crazy. So this is a perk that you can definitely look out for. Use it. It's great. You don't need the enhanced version, so if you can't find that, it doesn't really matter. I got this out of my collection, so I don't really have any perks on it, but I would love to actually get this to drop so I can see what perks it will come with, and hopefully I can find something that is really great. Next up, let's talk about the boots, because I actually have the enhanced version of Bomber. Now, what Bomber does, and this is pretty interesting, anytime I actually use my class ability, and on a hunter, you're going to get your class ability back really quickly. With this subclass, you get it back extremely quickly if you have ×3 playing with fire. But anytime that I dodge, I can get some of my grenade back. I can actually cool it down. So that's really cool. Now, there is a better perk, a much better perk. I don't know if this comes on anything other than the raid armor, maybe exotics, and also the Dreaming City armor. And that perk is Distribution. This perk is awesome. Whenever you use your class ability, you get cooldown for everything. And it's actually decent. It's decent cooldown. Now, it's not the best. It's like maybe 5 or 10%. But still, that's really cool. The fact that, especially on a hunter, being able to dodge, and now you get grenade energy back, melee energy back, class ability energy back, and super energy back. You get everything back. This is an amazing perk, and I would use this perk over the enhanced bomber, but I don't like these scavenger perks. And yeah, I don't know why they have scavenger perks for things like submachine guns and arrows. I don't need that. I want things like linear fusion rifle, rocket launchers, maybe shotguns, fusion rifles, whatever it might be. I want that. And finally, on my cloak, the perk that I have is better already. Anytime that I pick up an orb, I get my health back. This comes in clutch. I definitely recommend having this just because it really does. If you're using a masterwork and you're making orbs, then you can just pick them up and get your health back. It saves your life all the time. Alrighty guys, so that's going to do it for the build portion of this video. Now it's time to get into the gameplay, and I can show you exactly why I love this build so much, and I think you guys should try it, just because you'll have so much fun with it, and you will absolutely destroy everything with your throwing knives. Alrighty guys, well I'm in the Lost Sector here on Io, and now I can actually demonstrate what this build can do. But when I'm done with this, I'm actually going to show what this build can do with Brawler on as well, because that is insane. Having Brawler on makes this build absolutely insane. And what's really cool is you can actually exploit this build in a Nightfall. If you want to do a Nightfall with your friends, or even if you want to solo it, you can easily do it with this build, just because all you have to do is put Brawler on. If you put Brawler on, you can solo it no problem. Now, as you can see, with this build, if I pace my knife just ever so slightly, I can easily get it back really quickly after I throw that second knife. So it's pretty much infinite. It's not completely infinite, obviously, but it's pretty much there just because I throw the knife and I have it back. And I almost always have a knife to throw. Now, the cooldown with the 5 impact mods is only 3 seconds. And you can actually see that for yourself if you like. I'll throw one knife, and by the time that it hits 12, I'll have the knife recharged. So that is really nice, I'll be honest, but remember, the difference between having 5 impact mods and having 0 is 1 second. So that's something that you have to consider. Is that worth it for you or not? I don't know why I was just standing there waiting for that to recharge. I had a knife to throw. That's the thing. Even I'm shocked on how many knives I have to throw. Now, normally, if I was playing this build, I would be shooting as well, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to throw knives because why not? Like, that's kind of the whole idea here. Let's use this extremely powerful super on this guy. I don't know if I hit him or not. We need to reset our perk as well. And I love the fact that this has like a shotgun effect. Now, one of the downsides to a hunter in general, one thing I've always hated with throwing knives is that if you get too close to the enemy, the hunter has this like insane demon lunge ability. I don't know why that is. All right, that guy is dead. And also remember, one thing you can do is you can actually throw your grenade, and if you set something on fire and then you shoot it, it will give you the playing with fire perk. So that's another easy way of setting up the ×3 playing with fire, is just throw the incinerator grenade, set some enemies on fire, and then shoot them, and then you'll actually set up your playing with fire perk, and then you can throw your knives or whatever, and you're good to go. Alright, so now it's time to get crazy. I'm going to start a Nightfall up, and I'm going to put the perk Brawler on. I'm going to have no other perks besides that. And I'm going to pretend like I wanted to just go and do the Nightfall and complete it for the week or whatever. And you're going to see on how insane this is, because it is pretty insane on how fast you can get your knives back and how truly infinite they become with Brawler on. Alrighty guys, well I'm in a Nightfall. This is the inverted spire. I have Brawler on, and you're about to see some pretty insane stuff here, because once I get playing with fire, my knives become a machine gun. I can literally just hit the melee button. That's all I have to do. Just hit the melee button, just non-stop. I never have to stop throwing these. Accuracy becomes optional at this point. So, yeah. And just the fact that this is like a shotgun, well, that makes it even better. Minotaurs can be very annoying. And as you can see, the knives are very strong. They're so strong. They just kill everything. So many enemies in front of me, I'm not sweating it. Why? Because I can just keep moving around and hitting the melee button. And I have infinite knives. Now remember, something about this I just want to point out is that also strikes can have Brawler on. Every couple days or whatever, you will see Brawler is on. You see that on, you know what, it's time to bust out the infinite knife build. Just because you can easily go through strikes with this. It's a lot of fun, and people generally look at you like, what is he doing? How is he doing that? But that is the hunter, man. And as you can see, even with ×1 playing with fire, the knife just comes back so fast. And, you know, gladiators are pretty strong, you know. They're pretty tough. No, they're not. Not with this build. Like, this build just absolutely shreds them. And remember, Brawler also increases damage slightly. So, I mean, I don't know how much it actually does increase it by. It might be actually quite a bit. It's hard to say, but this makes it even better. That's why I wish the final perk wasn't actually about the dodge. I wish the final perk was actually more about, like, just damage or something. That would be cool. But still, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. You can easily solo this. If you have some friends, convince them to join you with this. Say, you know, hey, let's try this out. Let's go do this Nightfall and just use knives the entire time. And even against the boss itself, if you can actually get your perk going with any whatever ad that's on the field, if you can get the perk going, you can easily murder the boss with the knives. Like, it just does great damage against the boss as well. Uh-oh, Colossus, better dodge. Let me go ahead and rush him. Look at the Colossus. Colossuses are so strong. They normally take multiple rockets or whatever. These knives are so insane. But what am I doing? I could literally just keep tapping the button. I don't have to stop or pause. I almost forget sometimes. But you get the idea here. This is ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. That sniper needs to die because I'm worried about him. Let me find one of these big Cabal guys. They're generally pretty tough. They normally take multiple rockets, you know, multiple shotgun shells, whatever it might be. Even my super, I think my super would kill him. But still, like, look at that. I just murdered him so fast with this. It's absolutely amazing, man. I mean, you could do similar things like this too. Like with actually every subclass. If you guys were interested, I actually could make a video about how you can beat Nightfalls really easily. Because there's something like this you can do on the Warlock, which is really insane. And there's something that you can do with the Titan as well. Pretty much the Warlock can get infinite grenades and also infinite super. And the Titan can get infinite super. And I mean like truly infinite super, where you can be in your super for pretty much forever and do the Nightfall. And this class, of course, gets the knives. And they're all really good and a lot of fun. So like I said, I could literally show this for any class if you're interested. But as you can see, it's just insane. Like, you can literally solo the Nightfall with just knives by doing this. Brawler is epic with this build. But that's why I wanted to show the first bit first, just because I wanted to show you how the build would perform without Brawler. But with Brawler, it's so much better. And like I said, that other exotic is really good. It's awesome. It's kind of like the Orpheus Rigs for the Blade Barrage. That's really awesome. And I definitely can see myself using that exotic all the time once I get it. But, I mean, knowing my luck, I probably won't get it for a long time. And I know a lot of people probably feel the same way. But even once I get that exotic, I can still see myself doing this. Anytime Brawler is on, I'm definitely going to bust out this build just because I know how powerful it is and how much fun it is, you know? So I can definitely see myself doing that. Let me just go ahead and do this. Get rid of all those guys real quick. But I absolutely love this subclass. And it's just so epic just because I've always liked the Gunslinger. You know, I have liked it. I just have always known that in PvE, I'm not going to use it just because there's better options and everything. You know, why actually use it? You know, actually, what's interesting, I can show you how much super energy you can get back here with the hands-on perk. Just because, as you can see, with that knife kill against that orange bar, it gave me a nice chunk of my super back. Now, I should get a lot back here, but this guy is absolutely doing some insane damage. But I'm doing insane damage to him as well. Pretty crazy. I almost got blown up there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go to the boss. I'm not going to do this whole thing, but I have practically finished. That's the funny part. I might actually go down there and kill that wanted enemy as well. I need to watch out for all those snipers. I don't want to get set on fire here. Okay, I'm going to just start moving now. I don't want to get killed by the snipers. I know that they can easily kill me. Let me get down here before my timer runs out and try to get a kill. All right, come on. Remember, accuracy is optional with this Brawler on. You don't even have to aim this. And unfortunately, I can't hit this guy properly. There we go. We got him. All right, let me just start chucking my knives over there. Oh my god, the damage is so real. Let me go ahead and move over here. Kill that thing. You know what's interesting too? I always thought this exotic was just so pointless. Like, what was the point of it? Only if I knew, you know, hey, wait a minute. they're going to bring out this amazing subclass with these amazing knives, and you could just literally spam your knives nonstop in PvE. That is just epic. Alrighty guys, so that's going to pretty much do it for the video. I really hope that you have enjoyed it and that this has helped. Remember, I do think that those gauntlets are amazing. I think that those things will be really good. But I can see myself continuing to use this once I get those gauntlets. And I really wanted to make this video just to show you guys something that you can use with this new subclass that's extremely fun and actually pretty overpowered. I mean, it kind of is, especially with Brawler. It's overpowered with Brawler for sure. But in general, it's just really good. But I would appreciate it if you guys would like this video for me. Be sure to subscribe for future videos. And I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day. And peace out.